Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Nino.
Hey, that would make me Nino. Today I'll be cooking.
Hi, friends. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with Nino. Tonight, what are we making?
We're going to be making quiche. So let's get cooking. So today we're going to be making quiche. And one of the first thing we start off with is our tender flake deep dish pie crust, which you can purchase this at any supermarket, in your local supermarket. And the ingredients we're going to be using today to fill our pie crust is we're going to be using a mixed combination of cheeses with a combination of old cheddar cheese along with some Monterey Jack, okay, which we're going to put in our shell a little later on. However, I'll show you the filling that's going to be going in the quiche. Okay, so here we have some bacon. All right, we're going to be cutting this up and we're going to render all the fat from that, as well as we have some yellow and red peppers, which we're going to be using, as well as an onion. All right, so we're going to get this all sliced up, and not to forget 2 cloves of garlic. All right, so let's cut up our bacon and get it all started here.
Now, for those of us who don't eat pork, are there substitutes that we could use instead of the bacon?
Absolutely. When it comes to a quiche, you can pretty much put anything in that quiche shell that you so desire. You can use broccoli, you can use asparagus, any form of vegetable or meat that you so desire. So we're going to put this in our pan just to get it going. We've got our bacon all set up. Bacon's rendering, and we've got an onion. Okay, the whole onion. I've got some of it all chopped up already, but we're just going to a little bit of a Julienne on the onion. All right, we're back to our bacon. And if you can only smell this bacon, it's absolutely delightful. It smells really good. Now, all right, and we can start adding our other ingredients, our onions, peppers, as well as our garlic. Everything all at once. All right, just do remember.
Now, what setting do you have the stove on while you're doing all this?
Now, right now the stove is at a high. It's at a maximum because we want to get this thing rendered. We want to get all the ingredients kind of talking to each other. If you take a quick look over here, I've actually added some cheese to the bottom of the quiche shell. All right, you just want to cover the bottom with cheese. What I'm doing is I'm taking half the cheese, I'm putting on the bottom, as well as I'm going to add cheese on the very top.
And what kind of cheese are you using?
This cheese is a trio old cheese, and it's a combination of aged white, okay, cheddar cheese. Okay, so we've got a little orange and a little white cheddar. I kind of like the taste of the old cheddar. It's got a bit of a sharp taste. Okay, and that's really going to add to your palate and enhance the entire flavor of the dish.
So can you substitute that with other cheeses that you might prefer? Any combination of pre-shredded cheese from the supermarket?
Absolutely. You can put in this particular dish, like I said, any type of cheese you want, you can put in this dish. Now, once I get this sauteed, all right, I'm going to add a little bit of fresh thyme leaves that I've got here. Just sprinkle a bit in there. So right around this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my spinach to this dish. Okay, once I add my spinach, I'll add my salt and my pepper. I've got a big bag of spinach here. And the thing you have to understand about spinach is once you put it in, it wilts quite a bit. Okay, so it may look like a big bag, but if I put spinach in here, it's gonna wilt down to almost nothing.
Now, we should mention that spinach is pre-washed.
It is pre-washed, absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're not chopping the spinach, you're putting it directly into the pot.
Yeah, no need to chop the spinach because it will wilt. Almost down to nothing. I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. And this is some sea salt. And we've got some fresh cracked pepper. Okay, so folks, this is the bacon as well as the spinach, the yellow and red pepper in the pan. Okay, as you can see, I put 3 huge handful of spinach in the pot, and this is what it's wilted down to. Okay, so spinach doesn't really stay up very long. It does wilt the minute it's
So would you
touched
say
my
that
hand.
was about 3 cups of spinach?
I would say that was about 5 cups of spinach. Now what we'll do is take that off the stove and put it off to the side because that ingredient has to cool a bit before we can add it to our pie shell. So we'll go on over here and we're going to be cracking some eggs. What I'm going to be having here is I'm roughly having about 5 eggs for every quiche. Okay, for every quiche shell. So at the moment I've got 4, so I need to crack 20 eggs. Okay, and we'll get started on cracking those eggs. All right, along with that, we're going to add some salt and pepper to our egg mixture.
Now, how much salt and pepper? Because you never seem to have measurements of anything.
I don't really use measurements, but I'll tell you that with the salt in here, it's really salt to taste, pepper to taste. But you're just going to have to use your judgment. Okay, because again, it all depends on a series of things. The size of the eggs, okay, it could be small, medium, or large, or even extra large. So for me to say, put 1 teaspoon, it might be a little awkward. So you're just going to have to do it to taste. Okay, I'd also like to add a bit of nutmeg.
Now, can you show us what a nutmeg looks like for those of us who don't normally cook with nutmeg?
So let me just take a whole nutmeg. Okay, this is what it looks like. Okay, you can purchase this in any supermarket, right? So we're just gonna have to grater, and I would say maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Okay. All right. So now that we've got that, we're gonna just do a little whiskey weed and try to break up those egg yolks and just incorporate all the flavors that we've just added, the salt and pepper, as well as and then we can add the cream and start mixing it some more. Okay, so we're just gonna add roughly about a half a cup of 35% cream. That is looking good. That's the consistency that we're looking for. All right, maybe just add just a smidgen more of cream. And again, I'm just judging it based on the amount of pie shells that I have and the amount of mixtures that will be put within the shell, as well as the cheese that will be put on top, just so we don't have too much overflow. All right. On my pie shell, I've got the bottom of the pan, the cookie tray lined with foil wrap.
So what's the next step?
Well, the next step from here is once we've got our ingredients all cool, we're going to incorporate that in the pie shells. We're going to then put the egg mixture on top of that, and we're going to finish it with some more cheese. And then we put it in the oven and get cooking. Okay, folks, so we've preset our oven at 350 degrees, and right now we've got our filling, our ingredients, our spinach, bacon, onions, and pepper ingredients, all combined and cool. Okay, it must be cool before you put it in the pie shell. Otherwise, it'll start breaking down the shortening in the pie shell, and things will just start falling apart. So here we go. We're just gonna divide the mixture evenly amongst the 4 shells. Okay.
How much mixture should you put in each shell?
Well, all I can say is that once we get the mixture in, we have to try and make sure that it's evenly spread. There's no perfect science as to how much should we put in. All right. Regardless of how much we put in, we're just gonna try our best to spread it out amongst the pie. All right, just to try and cover all the surface areas.
I have my canna lily seeds. I have 4 different varieties there, and they're soaking, getting ready to plant, but I'll tell you all about that, friends, on an upcoming video.
We're gonna start putting our egg mixture in the pie shells. But just bear in mind that we have to leave some room at the top to add some more cheese. All right, so right now I'm just using roughly around 2 1/4 ladle. All right. We'll move the things around just so the ingredients, the liquid gets soaked right in, and it goes right down to the bottom and penetrate the whole thing. Just kind of undulate it just a little bit.
There's a word for you, folks. Undulate.
There we go. All right, just kind of mix her up. We're going to be using the balance of our cheese to add to the top of this mixture. Okay, so we're just going to cover the surface of the pie with the shredded cheese. And that's going to give it this amazing appearance when this is all done. Okay, and just again, just to recap, that our oven is set at 350 degrees, and we're going to put this in for roughly about 20 to 25 minutes. Looks delightful. And we're coming to the end of our cheese. All right.
You did say you set the oven at 350.
Well, 350, we're looking at between 20 and 25 minutes. I'm going to be doing a check, okay, to ensure that I get the proper doneness. If it's not done, then I might want to opt to turn the oven down slightly just to allow it to cook a little bit more in the middle. But we'll certainly be keeping an eye on it. So our quiche has been in the oven for about 25 minutes, and I've just added an extra 10 minutes just to ensure that, you know, things are well cooked and everything is nice and colored. And okay, so as we remove our quiche from the oven, you can see the lovely coloration that we have on the product. Look at that.
Oh, those look good.
Golden, just beautiful.
Nice and
Lovely.
gold. And that now took a total of, I would say, half an hour.
Well, about 35 minutes. 25 plus an additional 10 minutes. Cutting a slice to taste it. And look at that.
That looks good.
Look at that. Absolutely delightful. And I'm gonna
You get the first bite.
give it a little taste. Let's see. Wow.
That was worth the wait.
So like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.